Thyme is easily my favorite perennial herb, and although it's perennial, which means it can grow for years, it's one of the trickier herbs to grow well here in the low desert. But no herb garden is complete without thyme. So today I'll share my 5 best tips so you can grow thyme successfully. I'm Angela from Growing in the Garden. My garden's in Mesa, Arizona. I want to help you succeed even if you're gardening in tough conditions. My best tip? Plant thyme all around your garden. That way you'll have plenty of plants to choose from when it's time to harvest. Try different varieties. I like to plant an herb and a flower in each of my raised beds. Thyme is a perfect choice for this. I put them in the corners of the raised beds and they thrive for years. Adding thyme is an easy way to attract pollinators and increase diversity in your garden. You can start seeds indoors, but I've had the best luck buying large established transplants. That way you can harvest sooner. If you'd rather start from seed, start them indoors about 8 to 10 weeks before you plant them outside. When you're choosing transplants, choose well-rooted, sturdy transplants with growth spilling over the container. Avoid tall, gangly plants with any dry spots or brown patches. Once the risk of frost is past and the soil warms up, it's time to plant. Give plants 12 to 18 inches. I like to plant 1 per square in my square-foot garden. Here in the low desert, the best time to plant is in the fall. That gives the plants more time to become established before the heat of summer. There's also a second planting window in the spring. Thyme grows best in warm, sunny locations with at least 6 hours of sun. But if you have a shady spot, thyme can also grow there. Herbs like thyme are a good choice for shady areas because they're grown for their leaves and they require less sunlight. If you're growing in a hot summer climate, afternoon shade will help plants survive the summer. Thyme needs well-draining soil. If your soil is heavy clay or doesn't drain well, grow thyme instead in raised beds or containers. Thyme is drought tolerant once established. Too much moisture can lead to root rot. Let the soil dry out a little bit between watering. The flavor is best and most concentrated without additional fertilizer, but if your soil is very poor, you can amend with compost each spring. Although I love mulch because it keeps the weeds down and the moisture in the soil, thyme does not like a thick layer of mulch. It traps too much moisture near the roots. It's best to use only a thin layer of mulch when you're growing thyme. Keep thyme pruned back to encourage new growth. This ensures you have plenty of fresh leaves for cooking. But instead of pruning every stem, let a portion of the plant flower. The blooms will draw in beneficial insects and pollinators. After flowering wraps up, or whenever you're ready for fresh leaves again, prune those flowering stems to encourage a flush of new growth. During hot summers and cold winters, give thyme a break. Let it go dormant by not pruning, fertilizing, or overwatering. Once the weather cools down or warms up, you'll begin to see new growth at the base of the plant. Cut back any dead stems to that point, and you'll get a flush of new growth. Harvest often. Begin harvesting when plants are at least 6 to 8 weeks old and well established. To harvest, clip off the top leafy growth and leave behind all of the woody stems. Harvest thyme just before flowering for the most flavor. Thyme flowers are edible but have less flavor than the leaves. I really enjoy using thyme in my cooking. I love the flavor it adds to soups, stews, roasts, and other savory dishes. I have a blue cheese thyme scalloped potato recipe that is to die for. It is so good. Luckily, thyme grows well here most of the year here in the low desert. So whenever I need fresh thyme, I head out to the garden and pick a few stalks. For an easy way to remove thyme leaves from the stem, rub them across a wire basket or rack. And if you have more time than you can use right away, you can dry, freeze dry, dehydrate, or freeze the leaves for longer storage. Just be sure to store dried leaves in a tightly sealed jar in a cool place to keep the flavor at its best. What are your favorite ways to use this delicious herb? I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments. Be sure to store dried thyme in a tight, I have to do that whole thing again. Too much time on your hands. And you're right, that would be a good recipe to post, especially if I sell it right. And right now I'm gonna sell it, I'm gonna make it sound so good. Okay, it's so good.